Hello. Hi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today we are going to be talking about all of the movies that I watched in February. So some of these on here are going to be very interesting, and I'll explain a little bit the further along we get in the video. But if you're interested in supporting me elsewhere than YouTube, then checking out the Patreon is the way to do so. Link for my Patreon will be in the description below. And make sure to follow me on Letterboxd so you can stay in the know to what movies I am watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. I didn't watch that many. I mean, not as many as January. I watched 7 movies. Now, the goal for the year is 100 new movies. And one of the movies on here I have seen before, so it's whatever. The goal seems a little unattainable right now. It seems very far away, but don't worry, we'll get there. So first thing I watched on the 5th was this documentary called An Update on Our Family. This is on HBO Max, and if you are unaware, this is about this mommy vlogger who was very popular on YouTube, and she adopts a child from China, I believe. She documents the whole journey on her channel, but after about like a year or so, he gets diagnosed with autism, and she sends him back. Unadopts him, I guess. I don't know, sends him back. Crazy story. Crazy. And I kind of already knew all about that. Like, there wasn't anything more to add. Everything I just told you was pretty much everything you needed to know. That's pretty much all that happened. Nothing, no updates afterwards, nothing. And that's it. The only update, I guess, is that the kid did eventually get readopted by someone else. But this trend that I'm noticing with documentaries, one is the stretching it out to 3 episodes. There was 3 episodes, too long. Did not need to be stretched out to 3 40-minute episodes, because everything I told you, how long did that take? A minute to tell you what happened? It's like, okay, there's not more there's not much to say about this situation other than it's fucked up. But 2, another thing I'm noticing with these documentaries nowadays is branching off of the 2. 1, they'll make a documentary about everything and anything. It doesn't matter if there's nothing new to say about it, there's any updates. It's like, I don't know. For me, I get like the info from that situation, that mommy vlogger that I just told you about. I heard that all from YouTube. So I guess this is for people who aren't on YouTube the way that I am. So I don't know. But anyways, back to 2. They interview random ass people. I'm like, what is the point? They interviewed this guy who is just another YouTuber. He's very popular. He has like a tech YouTube channel though. He talks about like cameras and freaking Final Cut Pro, you know? It's like, okay, what are you adding to the conversation? No offense. He talks about how you can get really popular on YouTube really fast, or if you create an audience, then the people will watch you no matter what. It's like, okay, again, I think this is more for, this feels like pre-K documentary. Like, if you are an avid documentary watcher, not even, just someone who already knows about the situation that you're watching, stuff like this is like, okay, we already know this. You know, it's not necessary for you to interview a random person and have them tell me this. Very random. Another person that they interview was someone who was just a viewer. They just watched her and were subscribed to her. The only thing that was like maybe different was that she was adopted, but it's like we were following her throughout all 3 episodes. Don't know how necessary that is. Yeah, I thought it was very long and for no reason at all. I gave it 2 stars. Next, on the 12th, I watched Sweethearts. This is kind of new. It came out 2024, but it's about these high school friends. It's a guy and a girl. they go to college together and they want to break up with their respective boyfriend and girlfriend over Thanksgiving break. And it's about that. I thought it was gonna be more Valentine's themed, but it's not. And that's kind of why I watched it. I gave this 2.5 stars. It's not the worst, but something that really bugs me that I see in these kind of like, I want to say like a teen comedy, but this is not for teenagers, but like, I don't know, just like in this comedy realm, I guess. Again, you guys know how I feel about comedies, but it's like a rom-com. So I was like, okay, maybe this will be a little better. I don't know. No, this is totally my opinion. And this could totally just show like how lame I am, but it is so overly sexualized. It's so sexual in a way where I'm like, this is just not believable. If they were like grown ass adults, like in their 30s, I'd probably believe it a little bit more, but they just got out of high school. All right, these people are like 18. And I don't know, maybe this is just me. And I know that's kind of a thing, especially in like teen comedies or whatever about like She's All That or like whatever, those older ones, is that everyone's always like, they are very over sexualized. Like that movie, Not Another Teen Movie, like they already spoofed on that. So that's what this movie kind of was too. And I was like, okay, this is just so unrealistic. But again, maybe that's just showing how lame I am. I don't know, but it wasn't terrible. You think it's gonna go in one way and you're like, okay, but it doesn't. So if you want to watch it, you know, it was a fine time. It wasn't very funny. That's why I just gave it 2.5. The soundtrack is amazing though. Next, on the 12th, that same day, I watched Heart Eyes. You can go ahead and check out my review. I just posted my review about it. It's a little delay, obviously, because I watched it on the 12th. But to make a long story short, I really liked it. And this was also genuinely one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Whenever I talk about not liking comedy movies, it's not like I hate laughter and enjoyment. I dislike the type of humor that most comedy movies tend to lean towards. The humor that is in Heart Eyes is kind of the humor that I'm interested in seeing and that I personally find funny. So to me, this is genuinely one of the funniest movies I've seen, which is kind of saying a lot, but also not really saying a lot because I don't really watch a lot of like comedy movies. But on Letterboxd, I gave this 4.5 stars. Next, on the 13th, I watched Boogeyman from 2023. When this movie came out, I originally wanted to watch it really badly, but I wasn't an avid movie goer back then. Things are different now. So I don't really think I need to give an explanation of what this movie is about. It's about a boogeyman, you know? It's about a boogeyman. It's spooky, but it's not spooky. This movie was so unspooky and very disappointing. Also, I hate a movie with, I don't know. Okay, so the main character is Sophie Thatcher, which now I understand, like, okay, we're seeing her in everything now. She was in Heretic, she was in Companion, and she was in The Boogeyman. And I think she's also in Yellow Jackets. So she'd be getting booked and busy, which I am starting to really like her. But what's confusing about this movie, her character kind of specifically is confusing. And I get like, she's supposed to be a high schooler. She's young, whatever, but there's like these mean girls, you know, that she's like friends with, I guess. And then her mom died and they're like, oh my God, your mom died. And they're like so mean about it. And I'm like, again, I hate unrealistic shit like that. Who actually would be mean like that? And I'm not even saying, oh, it's coming off as mean, because, you know, we all know those type of people who don't mean to say something in a rude way, but they just do. It just comes off that way. They just do. It's neither here nor there. They just don't know how to communicate properly. It's not even that. Like, this friend of Sophie Thatcher was so, like, genuinely just like a rude ass person. And she's still friends with her and invited her over to her house. And like, I was like, what is going on here? Like, I get that she's lonely, you know, the whole story is like her mom died. I get that she's lonely, but damn, you know, are we really that desperate? I mean, I don't know. It could be just something I just don't relate to, because I don't really relate to this movie. But if someone can let me know, that'd be great, because I don't know if it's a me thing or if it's a writing thing or an acting thing of like that mean Mean Girl actress. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. So I gave this 2.5 stars. The design for the boogeyman too was very odd looking. He was not very spooky. He's creepy, but not creepy enough. And not creepy enough to the point where it's kind of funny. Like he's kind of super badly animated. The idea that they had in their mind, I'm sure was really spooky, but then putting it actually into fruition, no, it just looked kind of goofy. So I could see the vision, but it didn't work out in their favor, in my opinion. Later that day, I rewatched one of my favorite comfort movies, and I'll briefly go over this, but I won't go too in depth because I actually want to make a video all about this movie because I feel like no one talks about it. I've never heard anyone talk about this movie, and that is Go Figure. It's an old DCOMS, Disney Channel original movie. I gave this 3 stars. It's just a nice comfort watch, and it's about this girl who wants to become a professional ice skater. She wants to go to the Olympics. She somehow has to learn hockey too. You know, Disney was really big in this point in time in the this person knows how to do this, but they're gonna have to change that and learn this instead. That's very similar, but also different in many ways. My husband showed me Johnny Tsunami when we were first dating, and that's the same concept. He's a skateboarder and he has to learn how to surf. What else is there? There's a lot that are like kind of sporty movies like that. Ice Princess, it's not a DCOM, but Ice Princess is another one. Also, I just want to briefly say how sad I am about the news of Michelle Trachtenberg. Very, very sad. Yeah, there's so many where it's like, they know how to do this, but they're gonna help learn this instead. This movie is one of them, but I have a lot to say about this movie. Like, me describing the concept, I've seen the movie multiple times, and I still don't know why she has to learn hockey. But anyways, ice skating, ice, I always watch it in the wintertime. This is the only time I will rewatch it, is wintertime. It's like Christmas time. Everyone has their go-to Christmas movies that they watch. Winter time, this is my go-to movie. And just this, nothing else. I don't know what it is about this movie specifically. I kind of know, but whatever. Again, I'm gonna make a whole different video about that, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Okay, and then next, right after that, I watched another DCOM, another one that I'm sure no one's really heard of or maybe talked about, and that is Right on Track. This came out in 2003. Go Figure came out in 2005. This movie, it's like a biopic as well because it's about an actual family, like actual real life events. This movie was so peculiar. So also I must point out, it has baby Brie Larson in there, which she's actually like, watching her and like younger stuff, I'm like, she's a great actress. But for some reason, seeing her in like newer stuff, I'm just like, eh. But seeing her as a kid, I'm like, she's a great actress. But this movie is about the, what are they called? Erica and Courtney Enders, who were junior, I'm gonna say junior drag racers, but not like RuPaul Drag Race, like drag, you know, like the car, vroom vroom. They were drag racers. There's no real storyline. I mean, I don't want to be weird because it is about like someone's real life, but I just mean like it just goes through like certain things that happen. Like they'll have a scene of one of the sisters hurting themselves in the gym, getting hurt in the, you know, in gym class, and they're like, no, I'm fine. Like I can still compete, blah, blah. And you think it's gonna be like this whole thing, this whole plot. No, like that's the one scene. Because every scene that happens in this movie, I can think like exactly what the writer's room looked like was the sisters like, one time this happened, I got hurt in gym class and I still went and competed in that competition and I did great. And it's like the end. Okay, I guess let's put it in the movie. Another time of like the sisters bickering and the Brie Larson, the younger one's like, oh my gosh, you're my idol. That's it. You know, you think it's gonna be a little bit more. No, it's just very brief flashes of these sisters' lives into one little like very short movie. It's 89 minutes, very short. 3 stars though. I still had a fun time. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't have a fun time, you know? And then lastly, on the 20th, I watched The Monkey. Again, if you want to see all my thoughts about it, I made a whole separate video about it on the channel. Go ahead and check it out. But honestly, this movie was kind of a letdown. The humor in this is not my humor. You know how I talked about Hard Eyes being my humor? This movie was not my humor. It was like too over the top, too like nobody had normal reactions to stuff that I just couldn't vibe. This movie is definitely for some people though, because you know, my cousin that I watched it with, he thought it was really funny, and I've been seeing this movie getting good scores. And I don't know if it's controversial or not, but I kind of think that they should have casted someone that's not Theo James. I don't know why. He's just like too pretty boy for me to be in this type of movie. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know who else could, like someone brand new, someone we've never seen before, but that's just my opinion. It's just something I've been thinking about. I wanted to say it. It needed to be said, and I said it. So with that said and done, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all for helping me out on the channel and on the Patreon, and for just tuning in. You guys all mean so much to me. So thank you again for checking out the Patreon. Okay. So have you seen any of these movies? Let me know what you think about it. If you like them, if you hate them, if you think they're just all right, let me know. But thank you guys for coming along with me on this journey. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that jazz. And as always, thanks for watching.